Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Thursday, 25th of March. So, before we get on with the markets themselves, let's just have a look at the risk events today in terms of news coming out. So, there's not a significant amount. These 8:30, we've got the Swiss National Bank policy statement coming through there that sometimes has a knock-on effect onto the euro. So, wariness as much to anything else. The side of that, really, it is really low level data coming out. There's a lot of speakers, low levels. I say low level, but in terms of the expectation of movement from the speakers. But running through this afternoon, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 FOMC speakers. So there's stuff that could come out. In fact, earlier on this morning, we got an FOMC speaker due to participate in a virtual panel discussion about central bank innovation. I don't think we'll get too much from all these, but and we got German Buber president speaking this morning, the same meeting. I don't think we'll get too much from all these. It's just checking that we've got Lagarde speaking though at 9:30. She's probably starting the online. Yep. So it's an unlikely event really to cause much in the way of volatility. So let's look at the technicals. We start off with the euro dollar, and yesterday euro continued in its let's just kick it into play first, into its downward movement. It was a slow, choppy day though. It wasn't an easy day to do too much with. A lot of the day, as I said, was consolidating, and quite a bitty old day. We ended up with this sort of wedge pattern forming yesterday. It's a day where we've already got some signs of some movement there, just running through. And well, also I don't know why I came all the way down to a 5-minute chart for. Well, that's just I'm looking really still for retracement potential for maybe shorting the euro this morning. So it's just post 8 o'clock to see what's up, but I really want a retracement to get into the short side. Okay, the pound also here selling off. Again this morning it sold off yesterday. Again, it was one of those days. It actually I had shorted it yesterday, and it just come back and nipped me, and then went. Maybe more patience needed, but I had perfectly good setups, and it well, as I say, come back, nipped me, and then continued on its ride, and it's certainly doing that at the moment. Again, I've just still seen more softness, and maybe more swing size positions are needed in these current markets, but the relatively light volatility and the temptation is the stops are a bit close to price action. Dollar yen, I've had a long-term long on this, and I'm looking to add into that at about 109.03 is the figure I'm looking to add in with the stops below the lows here, but looking for that to run up to about 110 area. But that is a part of a trade that I'm already in, effectively the add-in. The risk of that's all absorbed already by the fact that I entered way down here somewhere. So but that's why I'm still thinking that this is going to my analysis suggests still further upside in dollar yen in the bigger picture there. Aussie dollar, again, as with the pound euro, another down day yesterday. You just see the size of the day yesterday sums it up pretty much in terms of the lack of real sort of movement and the amount of chop during the day. For a long period there, it kept in a very tight range, and it was only sort of 6 o'clock last night it actually moved out of that range. So really, well after my trading is finished in the normal day trading room, and thinking, so quite late on. It's just consolidating a little bit more the Aussie dollar. Again, if you're looking on the short side, which it seems to be the sensible plan at the moment. If you're looking that way, it's probably needing bigger stops and more of a swing attitude, perhaps. Okay, Canadian dollar. We saw in the news yesterday that the cargo ship got caught and is stuck in the Suez Canal. Now that's creating a hell of a problem, and it's had a knock-on effect onto oil, and some of the oil prices suddenly shot up yesterday, which I'll show you in a moment. But it can have a knock-on effect in terms of strength of the Canadian dollar. It's not seeing much actually. Having said that, looking I think it's a short-term sort of move as much to anything else. Just looking at the prices here and the price action, it's making the Canadian dollar trying to get back against the US dollar. US dollar still really ruling this upward move there. It's broken a trend slightly. A break below that 25.42 area really would signify more strength towards the Canadian dollar, so a weaker US dollar, and we could see a bit more of a correction from that. But at the moment, look, in the 60-minute, it's quite range bound and quite ugly in my book. So well, it's more of a swing opportunity at the best of times, I think. S&Ps. The S&Ps. Okay, so how's that running? Well, at the moment we had another down day yesterday. It's looking soft as we look at it this morning, and you just look at the price action, lower highs, and again yesterday that 4 o'clock candle really wiping down, taking out the prior lows there. Lower highs, it's a trickle down as opposed to a strong move down. I was looking at it yesterday thinking, well, perhaps it's got a bit more legs in it, but when you're looking at it, particularly come down to the 60-minute, you see the lower highs coming through there, the lower lows. It would have been nice this morning if it run into that daily pivot, because you just expected it to continue faltering, and maybe it will continue faltering here. Okay, that's the S&Ps. Let's just flick into gold. And you can see how choppy that is on the 60-minute chart, and that pretty much sums things up. Coming back to the dailies, you can just see it's just consolidated. It's not really giving or taking too much. It's marginally up on the this later part of the week, and you can just see the high lows, high highs coming through, and it's very spiky, being sold into on any sort of bigger rallies there. It's been sold into quite strongly and pushing down. So and if you're drawing a trend line across these lows here, you probably just see it's just broken those lows. So still not really going anywhere in a hurry. I mentioned if I can bring it on here, it'd be good. I mentioned oil. So oil, well, bull flag pattern on the 60 minutes there. It did have quite a push up yesterday. It's just come to the dailies there. It just really recovered most of what it lost the previous day there. How much this will continue is questionable. The production levels, I saw something that is a suggestion that OPEC Plus would keep production levels. They'll continue the lower figures because of the increased lockdowns, the new lockdowns. They just see this as a major risk to their market, and there's rumour that they'll keep those running. Now the markets were expecting them to let go and start producing much more, but we'll see what happens here. But that combined with the Suez situation probably helped yesterday's move for sure. Where we're sitting now, well, it's really little bull flag sort of territory where it's sitting now. I've got a short on this. That might get stopped out. I would leave it if it does and just wait for the one situation to be resolved and then jump back on a short at a later point. But for now, let's say little bull flag at the moment, picking up this morning, but it doesn't mean too much. It could still roll back to where it was before. It's a swing trade I've got on that, so it's really what I'm looking for. Okay, that's pretty much there. Bitcoin this morning. Let's just have a look at what's going on Bitcoin. So it's looking soft on this 60 minutes for sure. It's certainly eased back, and yesterday, look, it's just running back into its daily 34. Maybe this too is just sort of following the route of just easing back as we're seeing a sort of stronger US dollar, lower highs, lower lows at the moment, and it's following suit. It's just losing the strength against the dollar. Dollar has it at the moment. So just looking across each of the time frames, and it certainly appears that way. Looking at other currencies, sorry I can't show you on this system, but looking at other currencies, the Ripple down from 55 cents yesterday to just below 50 cents today. So we're seeing the sort of same correction. Ethereum running back down to 1572. It was yesterday sitting around about 17-ish area, or 1690s, 80s, but it's dropped down as well. So this okay, the dollar backed currencies, cryptos I'm looking at here, but it's showing just that strength of that US dollar at the moment. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. I wish you a great day. There's no questions there, so I'll leave you to it, and I will speak to you in the morning. Bye for now.